So, why is Donald Trump letting white Africans from South Africa come into our country? So you do know that the other day there were 59 refugees that came into our country because Donald Trump gave them that status, because they said there was a genocide going on in South Africa, and these white families were being murdered and unalive, as I say, and the land being taken away from them, when that is not even true. You know that South Africa went through a whole entire century, close to a century, and not even a century, but they went through the whole apartheid thing until Nelson Mandela came out of prison. And it's kind of, it's kind of amazing that, you have people from Cambodia, you have people from Sudan, you have people from the Congo, people from Haiti who are really suffering from genocide, who are really suffering from some form of violence in their country, and they are not giving refugee status. Why is that? Simple, because they're black. Donald Trump says, it doesn't matter if they're black or they're white. No, it does. It does matter, because the Elon Musk of the world, who is from South Africa, is the one behind all this, who whispers to his ear and says, Donald Trump, you gotta get these people out. And Donald Trump, he pardoned everybody from the January 6th riot. Everybody. And that was atrocious. That wasn't a peaceful protest. That was atrocious. Those people who got arrested and those people who went to jail, they went in there to disturb a process that cannot be disturbed, because Donald Trump says that Mike Pence was doing the bad. Even though he wasn't doing the right thing. When Donald Trump himself knows that, as a vice president, Pence can't do anything. He couldn't overthrow the callings of the states. He couldn't do that. That's not his job. That's not his job. But yet he made these people believe that he had a job. The same way that the Republican Party made all of you guys believe, those who didn't vote for Kamala Harris, believe that she was the border czar when there was no border czar. Now they have a border czar because that's what they named them. Kamala Harris was never a border czar. That was not her job. The job of a vice president is very limited, and they do what the president tells them to do. The same job that Kamala Harris did when she went down to Central America and formed a body that make money from Honduras, San Salvador, and countries like that. Which she did. She went there. She got her mission. She accomplished the mission that she was sent to. They got money. People got jobs. That was her job. The same thing that Barack told then Vice President Biden to do. That's what she did. She advocates for them. The Vice President advocates for the world, advocates for the United States. Peace talks. Does all that stuff when the president sends that person to do that type of job. But they made you believe that she was a border czar. They should let all these illegals in, and no, that was not her job. She can't do anything. That part was Biden. But it made you believe that was her job. And now, unfortunately, we have a bigot, a rapist, a convicted felon as a president. And it doesn't bother you people that we have all these 59 family coming in here, but yet, I don't see you ranting and raving, but yet when there was COVID and all these people came from Venezuela and blah, 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 you guys cried about, they're getting EBT cards, they're getting housing, or at our expense. But you don't say nothing when these white families come from South Africa. You don't say nothing. Why? Because, again, they're white. And that fits your narrative. That fits your beautiful narrative of white America. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that you guys think that's good. When there are people out there who really need an opportunity to come to this country, and they can't do it because Mr. Trump says, no, you black, you brown, you can't come here. And you white with blue eyes, hell yeah, you can come here. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.